G'day everyone, Cam from Deep Gravity. Just a quick update video. I haven't done anything lately because I was having a few sound issues. It looks like that's been rectified now. I'm now using my iPad instead of my laptop. My laptop's been having a few issues using OBS and it's been shutting down on me, so I'm just using the camera on my iPad now. Connected to an audio interface, got the mic, and everything's all ready to go. So I've got a few projects coming up. One of which is this right here. I want to do a bit of a video on that. I was trying to do it, but I was having a few issues with audio and it was just going downhill really quick, so it wasn't really working for me. Sorry, I'm looking a little bit disheveled today. What was next? Okay, so I've got quite a few projects on the go. Unfortunately, at the moment, I work full-time. I have a business as well that I also run part-time, but it's also kind of full-time because I work an extra 6 hours after I finished work, and I'm trying to do this on top, so it's a little bit chaotic at the moment, but we'll get there. So the next thing I wanted to do, this guitar here is an old Samick of mine. This was my second electric guitar I ever bought, and a number of years ago a good friend gave me some strings, which were almost like bass strings. These things were, I think they were made for a 7-string, some kind of hardtail, where mine's got a tremolo system on it. And idiot here, when I put them on, I was so eager. I was tuning it up, and every time I turned the machine head, or the tuner, it kept on going down. It kept on tuning, and it broke my tremolo. Which wasn't funny, actually. So, that was actually quite a number of years ago, and I couldn't afford to get it fixed. So I just sort of used my one of my acoustic guitars back here. I've got 2 there. So I was just using those, and then I replaced my Samick with this one right on the end here, which is a Gibson style. It's a custom build that I got done by a guy called Cameron Rees from a guitar place that his name escapes me at the moment. I'll figure that part out. Custom Guitar Works, it is. Custom Guitar Works. So he made that for me and gave it a custom paint job. Anyway, back to the other one. Over the last couple of years, we've moved house in between that happened, and I lost some existing pieces of the tremolo that I needed to keep, and I also lost the nut, which is this bit that sits in here that holds the strings that go up to the machine heads or the tuners up here. So I've ordered a new nut. They're inexpensive. I just ordered a nylon one. I could have ordered a brass one or something like that, but they all come from overseas, and it's deadly expensive to get those replaced. So I've just ordered a nylon one. I'm pretty sure the one that came off it was nylon. It's also got locking heads on it, so when you're using the tremolo arm, it's locking the, maybe you can see that, there's little caps that go on here, and it locks the strings into there, so it keeps, in theory, keeps the tune. So I want to do that, and I want to try and make a video of that if I can. These camera angles I've got at the moment are poo, but I'll sort something out. Yeah, so I wanted to put I've got a new tremolo sitting there for it, a Floyd Rose tremolo. And I've got a new nut on its way, so it should be here probably next year at this stage because of freight and everything, because of the virus. So that's one project I've got on the go. Another project I've got is a guitar body I've got, which is similar to this Stratocaster. It's actually an Artist ST66, I think it is. it's actually not a bad Strat. So it's got your 3 standard single coils, so you get that traditional Fender hum. Birds won't shut up. Yeah, so I've got that. The last thing I've got is, I might see if I can get that actually. Okay, so there's the artist body that I'm working on. So I've just got to pull off the hard, or the tremolo tail there. And what I want to do is clean this up, and I'm going to put a new face on that, which I've got, which I'm hoping will look pretty damn good. So this is the new face I've got for it, which is this. So I'm thinking that that is going to look pretty awesome on that. The reason why I'm doing that is because, as I held up the other Stratocaster before, I have a black guitar, and black guitars kind of annoy me. You don't need anything overly flamboyant, but black is the worst colour for me for guitars. It just annoys me. So I prefer other colours: natural wood, red, blue, green, whatever. Just not black. As you can see, I'm extremely prepared for this. This is the last one I've got. This is actually my first electric guitar I ever bought. This is a 1968, I think, Sakai, which is a Gibson copy, and a poor Gibson copy. But this is what I could afford back in 1997 when I bought it. I bought this from a local pawn shop in a suburb of Melbourne called Oakley. The place was called Traderama. I don't think it's there anymore. But, well, it's a long time ago. But basically, when I got it, it was coated in nitrocellulose lacquer. And it was all like this horrible yellow colour. It looked like it was melting, basically. So it wasn't working that great. The pickups were no good. The 3-way switch on it was not working very well anymore. So I thought, well, I'll see if I can do something with it. Now, this is a project that started about 15 years ago. Sanded it down. It took me ages to sand that nitrocellulose lacquer off, but got it done. And fully restored it to timber. When I did that, I realised that the actual body has been, I don't know if you can see it with the paint that I've given it, the actual body is made up of 3 pieces of timber. So you got one on this side, can't see the microphone, one on this side, one in the centre, one on this side, all 3 different grains. So I was going to leave it bare timber and lacquer it, but it really didn't look very good. And this timber, I don't know what it is. It's not pine, it's not basswood, it's not any of your standard ones. It's not that Parolina or whatever they use nowadays. I'm not exactly sure what the timber is, but it's very soft, but it's heavy. It's not light at all. So it's not that Parolina or whatever. I don't know. That's how you call it. That stuff is really light. This is actually quite heavy, and it's quite a thin body. So to have that much weight in it, a thin body is quite unusual. Yeah, as I said, it's quite a soft wood, but it's quite heavy. So maybe a boffin out there can tell me what it is. And I've got the neck here for it, which is this. Now, I'm thinking I'm going to have to end up replacing this neck because it's missing some of the mother of pearl inlays in there. Now I can buy that again, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to cut it right to fit back in there. And I also took all the threads out, so I had an idea, because I'm so smart, that I would turn this into a fretless guitar. I may still do it. When you use as a fretless guitar, you've got to get a different type of string. It's got to be a square wound, I think they call it, or a flat string, one of the two. But yeah, that's the head and neck for it. Still got the nut on that one though. Now that is not, I actually think this might be a bone nut. It's certainly not plastic. I don't know if you can hear that, but yeah, it's not plastic. I tried hitting it with a file a little while ago, and it certainly didn't feel like plastic. And the strings haven't really worn it down that much. So, considering its age, yeah, it's doing a pretty good job. So, I need to work out what I'm going to do with this though, because it's quite a soft wood, but when I sanded it, it's still got, I don't know if you can see this, it's still got, see, can you see the grain in it, in here? So what I've got to figure out is, do I want to keep it like that, give it another coat of paint, and then lacquer it, and leave these this detail in it, or do I want to sand it back a bit, fill the grain, and then repaint it so it's nice and smooth, and then coat it with clear coat? I don't know. I'm caught between the two. I don't know whether I want to coat it like that and give it a bit of character, because I'm probably not going to play it much, or whether I sand it, make it look really schmicko. I don't know. I'm caught. Maybe giving you some ideas in the comments below. But they're the main projects I've got. The last project I've got is this acoustic. This is a Samick. This I bought in 1998, I think. 98 or 99, one of the two. I bought this from a local music shop in Melbourne. And they actually, I remember quite vividly at the time, they tried to talk me out of it, because it's a dreadnought. It's quite a big guitar. Dreadnought means that it's got a big body on it. It's got a big ass. So it's quite a big body, and it's also quite wide, which gives it a really nice sound. So it's not quite a rich sound. Now, Samick are a funny company. So the red electric I've got, it's also a Samick. So these were the same, basically the similar sort of design to Jackson. It actually uses a Jackson neck, reverse headstock. Actually, quite a good guitar. The pickups, it's got 2 single coils and a double humbucker. It's actually quite a good guitar. The humbucker, you can't split it, you can't split the coil, but you got your 2 single coils on there anyway, so if you really want to be a savage and listen to that single coil hum, you've got the bridge in the middle pickup to choose from. Or you can have all 3 on at the same time. It gives you a really different sound. So with the Samick guitar, I've got a Fishman acoustic pickup coming for it. So I'm going to install that probably right here. and turn this into a semi-acoustic guitar. I've wanted to do it for a while, so which is why I went for this one. This is a SW-510. SW means solid wood, so a lot of them have a solid veneer on the outside, maybe spruce or something like that, and then they have almost like not a chipboard. I can't remember what they have, but they have a cheaper plyboard underneath, so it looks the part on the outside, but it's kind of rubbish on the inside. This is a full solid body. Well, not a solid body, but it's solid wood, so it's not cheap in any way. This was a couple of $100 when I bought it back in the late 90s, and it's probably the best acoustic guitar I've played in the lower end. So these were manufactured from 1995 or 1996 to 2001, right in the middle when the Greg Bennett series came out. So this was like a prelude to the Greg Bennett series of guitars. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if these were designed by Greg Bennett. It's just missing the signature headstock and the Samick S with the Greg Bennett custom guitars on it. So, but it wouldn't surprise me if this was actually designed by Greg Bennett, because he was working with them at the time, doing designs and everything after he finished working for Gibson, I think it was. So, yeah, I want to put the Fishman pickup in that and try and film that too. It could end in tears, I'm not too sure. But I don't believe they're too difficult to install. I've seen a couple of people do it and it looked pretty easy. I've got a Dremel that I can cut into the body with, so I should be able to do that no problem at all. So they're the main things I've got on the go at the moment. I've just got to find time to try and do them all. I haven't got the Fishman pickup at the moment. I'm still waiting on that coming. That was coming from England, I think. So that's still on its way. And as I said before, freight in this country at the moment is just, it's not very good at all. So, yeah. The last thing I want to do is, some people may know, it was my birthday recently. So I got a subscription to guitarmasterymethod.com, I guess. It's a guy called Charlie Wallace that operates out of New Zealand, with a group of really good musicians, basically. And he refines your guitar playing, basically. Now, when I was younger, I got some lessons. I got around about anywhere between 6 and 10 lessons from a local guy who was one of the best musicians I've ever met. And he taught me a huge amount in those few lessons I had. But since that time, with family and work and everything that's in between in the last 22 years, my guitar playing has stagnated. And obviously my buying hasn't stagnated, but my playing has stagnated a little bit. So I wanted to try and refresh that a little bit, because I felt that it could make or assist in making my music better. So at the moment I probably feel a little bit underwhelmed with what I'm doing. So I want to just give that a refresher. Now I can tell you that I've only, in the 101 course that I'm doing, I think there's 6 modules. I've done the first and second module. I'm on to the third at the moment, which is finger exercises. And I thought that I could do a chromatic scale and everything like that quite efficiently. It appears not. And I can tell you that this part of my arm, when going through some of these exercises, is burning. And my fingers are sore, and it's fantastic, really. So I'm going to do a bit of a, not a review, but a bit of my experience with it. And for the most part at the moment, it's been very positive. So I went with Guitar Mastery Method instead of others because it was on special, which appealed to me. And it was also local. So especially in Melbourne, but Australia and New Zealand are doing it a little bit tough at the moment, as the rest of the world is. But I thought it was important to support local. So I thought I'd support someone out of New Zealand. I could have got local lessons as well, but to be honest with you, because I'm so busy, it's just finding time to fit it into my schedule, where when it's an online course and it's video supported, I can do it whenever I want, basically, which is very appealing to me. But also, I found with it, it's got a lot of support. So if you've got a problem, if you don't understand something, it's got other support on the interface or the portal itself, or you can just email the support, and they email you back within 24 hours, and they're always very, very helpful, very good. They sent me quite a few hints and tips. They do quite a few webinars and like free webinars that you've paid for your membership, but you get webinars and everything. They did a series on Eddie Van Halen and just recently, which I missed unfortunately because I was working, because they do everything in US time. Actually, I don't think I was working. I'm pretty sure I was watching one of Pete Johns' streams, and I didn't want to stop watching him to watch the other thing, so hopefully I can go back and revisit that at some stage. If anyone's got any questions about the guitar mastering method, just put them down in the comments, and I'll be happy to tell you what I know and what I've experienced so far. But some of the exercises, as I said, are just crazy. I actually sent a small video recording to Pete at Studio Live today, just saying this is one of the easier ones that they've got, and I'm struggling with that one. So I will go through some of them, but not in this video, but I will go through some of them and just let you know what it's all about, and if it's worth it. Now, in my opinion, for what I paid, it was $47 US, which was, I think it equated to around about 65 Australian dollars, 66 Australian dollars. If you go and get private lessons, you're looking at anywhere between $50 and $100 per hour, basically. So that's one lesson already gone in that $70, more or less. Where this has got 50 odd lessons. You can also get a heap of free stuff from them, from Facebook and YouTube and everything like that. They've got their own YouTube channel, which gives you hints and tips on how to do bits and pieces, how to exercise your fingers, how to do stretches with your arms and fingers and everything like that, which is really important. Because what I found is, just in here, when doing some of the exercises, is the next day it's really sore. So these stretches that they give you are actually really helpful, because they stop that pain the next day. Just trying to think if there's anything else. I broke my strap, my guitar strap. I've had it for like, I don't know, nearly 10 years. I'm really upset. Very upset boy. It's oops. Sorry, I've got to tune that anyway. It's a bright red strap. It's got police line do not cross on it. And unfortunately, that's the bit that just fell off here, is landed on the floor, is what broke. So this is just far too long now. Actually, here you go. It was this bit right here. So there's normally a middle bit here. Yep, and it's snapped out, and that's useless now. Very upset. I think that's it so far. It's easier to say. There's a lot of work to do though, and I've got to set something up better here because the lighting's poop, and it's not working very well. But at least I can run this through my iPad, through the mic, and through the interface and everything like that. And I've got a little speaker set up here that I can run through, because I don't have an amplifier at the moment. My eldest son pulled the middle of the cone of my microphone, my amplifier speaker out, which has rendered it useless. So I was going to try and replace the speaker, but I'm finding that quite difficult. Just to find something that'll go in there that isn't going to cost me $100 million. So, yeah, I'm looking at buying a new amp. I'm trying to save up at the moment. So we'll see how we go. But at the moment, I wanted to get the Spark. Positive Grid, is it? Positive Grid Spark. That's what I wanted to get, because that just looks awesome. And it's got so much functionality to it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it. So I'm looking at, firstly I was looking at the Hayes, not the Marshall Hayes. It's an Australian brand called Hayes, and they do a 40 watt amp, which didn't look too bad. I sent them an email asking some details about it, and their response was, for that price, it's okay. I don't know what that means when you want to endorse your own product. Anyway, the other one I'm looking at is from Artist Guitars, and it is a, I can't remember what it's called. I was looking at it today, actually. It's got a strange name. Just looking on my phone. Here we go. It's a NU or NU X Mighty 40 BT 40 watt amplifier. The reason why I like this one is because it's got a lot of onboard stuff. So it's got some different. I'm just trying to find it here. I've forgotten all about it now. Okay, so it's got your normal stuff, input, phones. It's got an AUX and a USB. So I think that's a USB, micro USB. I'm not exactly sure what that does at the moment. But it's also got little different things that you can push on it, which gives you different effects. So you can have, it's got onboard reverb, gain, distortion, metal. So I mean, the positive grid you can do that with as well, and you control that through your phone. But for the extra $100 and whatever dollars, I don't know if I can stretch that far. So I'm looking at this one just to see how we go. And I quite like the Artist guitars. So they're a more budget-friendly guitar, but geez, they pack a punch for the price you pay. Even their beginner starter packs are black guitars, which is the same as this one here, basically. But they actually sound really good. They've got some really good tone to them, and the pickups on those are their own make, so they don't have your cheapy, no-name ones that a lot of these really cheap guitars have. They make their own pickups. Obviously, they're made in China, but not a bad pickup. And there's quite a few reviews online you can see about them, that they actually don't mind them at all. And there's a couple of guitars that I wouldn't mind getting from them. That's in a perfect world, and unfortunately my world is less than perfect. So we'll see how we go from there. Otherwise, I think that's all I have to say at the moment. If you guys are looking forward to any of the stuff I'm looking at doing, let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to, and if you've done something like this before, let me know your experience. And especially with this blue one, with the pickup that's in there, Let me know what you think about that. Should I sand it and fill it and then recoat it, or should I leave it kind of like this with all the grain and everything sort of exposed? It's a little bit rough, but it's not too bad. Oh, actually, can't half tell that I'm doing this on the fly, can you? The one last thing I wanted to do is I recently picked this microphone up. I was using this, which is a fair amount smaller. This isn't too bad. The main problem I have with it is that this end. This is a solid wired. You can't pull that out of there, so it's a solid wired. So this is good for doing like zooms and stuff like that if you're on your laptop doing bits and pieces. But this, at the time when I needed a microphone, is what I could afford. So this is an SF-666, the devil's spawn microphone. I wanted to do a bit of a test because this is a BM800. This is not a really expensive mic. But I saw quite a few reviews on YouTube about this mic. Patrick from the GarageBand Guide did one. And his reviews were actually, even though he wasn't endorsing the microphone, the sound quality he was getting from it wasn't too bad at all. And quite a few other people had actually said that this, for its price, is actually pretty good. So this comes in a few different brands. I bought a no-name brand one, which is just entitled the BM800, but there's other ones called a Niwa or something like that. That seems to be fairly popular online. But they're not expensive at all. You can buy them with an arm as well. I just got this by itself with it didn't actually come with this one. I bought this one separately, but it came with the stand here, which is telescopic, so this microphone can actually go up as well. I don't think I want it to go up any higher than this. But I've also got a boom arm, is that what they're called? One of those things that sort of you can move around and everything. Just where I'm set up at the moment, I can't use it, so I'm looking for a little bit more of a permanent place where I can set this stuff up and do it a bit better. Unfortunately, the door over there I can't close. It wouldn't matter anyway because there's no wall here, so my boys' birds are just on the other side of this wall and they just do not shut up. Also on the other side of this wall is guinea pigs, and I'm surprised they haven't chimed in either because they normally don't shut up either. So I want to do a comparison between these two at some stage and see what you think. I think this one will work well for doing acoustic. So doing like if I was recording an acoustic guitar without a pickup, I think this would do really well because it doesn't pick up much low end. It picks up a lot more mid and high. So where the BM800 does a better job. It's got a bigger diaphragm in it anyway. But yeah, it does a pretty good job. If you're interested as well, I'm thinking of doing some, not comparisons, but like showcasing some of my guitars. Just to let you know what they are, how they sound, what they're like. Yeah, so let me know if that's something you're interested in as well. I've got about 10 different guitars here, ranging from acoustic to electric. So yeah, let me know. Otherwise, I think that's it. I gotta see if I can edit this and maybe. I don't know, I've never done it before, so I always just do these things and then send them to YouTube, so let's see if I can do that. Alright, cheers. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you like and subscribe and all that stuff. And I keep on not looking at that camera. Keep on looking at my face. I don't want to look at my face. It's ugly. Alright, thanks guys. Bye.